Prayers.
Almighty God, who in infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed officers of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with your abundant favor these your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to performance of such important tasks in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory and to advance the good of those whose interests you have committed to your church.
Amen.
Amen.
Item number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I welcome you to this sitting. Today, as you are aware, the main business of the day is dealing with the supply of the figures and then also handling the appropriation bill. Today, 31st of May, is the last day in the law for us to finish with that process. So that will be the main business today, and we'll start that in about an hour. But the preceding business before that, so we'd like to handle those as we move to deal with the budget. There were statements that were supposed to be made this morning by the Minister in charge of Internal Affairs on some 2 issues. I'll ask him to do that now. It's not on the order paper, but I'll ask him to do that now after the processes of laying the papers and other things have been completed. Then the Minister would make that statement, and then we see how to proceed. Thank you. Yes, Ajumani?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. I rise on a matter of national importance. Our road from Adjumani to Atiak is badly off. It has not been tarmacked, as we know, because of the heavy rain. Now the Maram Road is badly in shape because there's a lot of washing, a lot of potholes. We used to take 2 hours from Adjuman to Atiak, now we take 4 hours. Therefore, I request government through ONURA to ensure that the Maram Road is maintained. Otherwise, we shall be blocked out from accessing other parts of this country. Thank you.
Right Honorable, you would like to speak on this subject, or?
I know this is a what she says is true, and definitely many attempts has been done anyway that this road must be fixed, and what he has said is also going to add on what we have been doing quietly, and that this road, as of now, from Atiak to the bridge, there is a Yugi bridge, is 9 miles. Here you can take in nearly 2-3 hours, because you will find a big lorry blocking the road, or if they don't block, they just stand on the road, in the middle of the road because of fear. When they turn a bit, it will just overturn. Therefore, this road must be done. I think... No, I'm saying must be done. I'm supporting her. Yes, I'm supporting her. by those responsible.
Right Honorable, you said there were things you were doing quietly. Now can you state them openly? Yes, Finance?
Honorable Speaker and colleagues, this road, which is definitely destined for being tarmacked, I know that for sure. But the issue of that it being impossible now, I can undertake to tell the Minister of Works and the UNRWA to ensure that it's made possible until we have completed the plans for tarmacking it. No, that this should be immediate. This should be immediate.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you have allowed me to be on the floor, so humbly you can take your seat as I seek clarification. Right, Honorable Speaker, I think Ajuman has brought something very pertinent, and I'm lucky that I have the Minister of Finance here today. The issue of Uganda Road Fund, of you not giving them money as per their collection, is affecting us. Members of Parliament can testify here, we are always in the Uganda Road Fund asking for money to repair roads. And they are always saying they have not got money. But when you read the Uganda Road Fund Act, it is very clear that whatever, all their collection must be given to them. So the clarification I'm seeking for you, Honourable Minister, how do you sort out this problem? Because it has been a rainy season, and right now, money must be availed because all roads have been impassable through the Uganda Road Fund, which caters for those small roads within our sub-counties. That's the clarification I'm seeking. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Minister?
To my best of recollection, all the funds to Uganda Road Fund have been released. All of the funds, and 100%. Of course, they may not be sufficient to handle each and every little road in the rural areas, but that's the best we can do at the moment, until we have sufficient resources to be able to fund each and every road that is required. That's what I can say.
Speaker,
Yes, Ajumani?
Speaker, I think I am not contented because if this is not worked, when I get home, I may not be able to come back using the road. I think my proposal is, as you have done to other members on issues pertaining their districts, let the minister, after working on that road, report to this house so that we get assurance. Often we raise these matters, but the roads remain in that state, impassable. So he's saying that immediately they'll take action. But we needed to know whether 2 weeks, whether 1 month, so that we disseminate this information. And the whole of Madi sub-region, though I raised Ajuman, even Moyo is affected. We are using the same road from Moyo to Atiak. And even when our minister, 30 years down the road, Madi sub-region has never got tarmac road. And you know whom we are to you in this government. I think they should report to this house so that we get assurance through you. This brings a lot of mistrust. It's not the first time we are raising it, and we believe in you and that now the ministers making statements here. Thank you.
Yes, Leader of Government Business.
I just want to inform the House and the country at large that is not really true, that 30 years no tarmac road has been attempted. Yeah, it is. It is attempted. It is there. Even the remnants are there. You can go and see. So let us. No. Let me say the statement. We are correcting facts, records. In 2003, Chinese, yes, Setco company was in Ajumani, in Pakele, those who know the area. they started making the road across. In fact, there are big mountains. The road goes through mountain across the Nile, if you go to Moyo. They started there, and if you go there, you can see. So the problem is these people had to leave because of insecurity. Yes, because of insecurity. That's what they said. Therefore, if there was no insecurity, we would have tarmac already. But it is not fair to say there was no. This government has attempted to do something.
Point of order.
Okay. Thank you very much. I've been constrained to put my senior to order. Right Honorable Speaker, the issue the woman MP of Adjumani is raising is a very important issue. The fact of the matter is that since independence, the Madi sub-region has not been connected, or the roads connecting Madi sub-region have never seen tarmac, save for the few kilometers that have been given to the town councils. I think Moyo has a kilometer or half a kilometer. Adjumani has half a kilometer. And the road that they are talking about connects not only Moyo or Adjumani, it connects also Yumbe. And as we know, this is the sub-region that is hosting refugees. And when it means it comes to supplies, that is the road.
The point of order now?
So, for the general to come here and begin telling us about attempts, I think is misleading, because he's a senior government official and should be able to supply this parliament with the right information. At the moment, what we want is permanently tarmacking that road, and secondly, taking immediate steps to ensure that the road
Point
is...
of order, please.
So is the Honorable Moses Ali, General Moses Ali, in order to deceive this parliament and waste its time by telling us attempts that have been made? Is in order?
Honorable members, I think the word attempt was first used by the person who raised the matter. And the Right Honorable Leader of Government Business only said it is not true to say no attempt has been made in that context. So I cannot rule him on order, out of order. You want to debate this matter? Because ordinarily you should have come and alerted the speaker so that we agree on how we are going to proceed with your matter. Since you did not come, please, for now, rest in the... Yes, you had raised U.S. Mitiana South?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, last financial year, the government of Uganda granted town councils in this country, including Busunju Town Council, which is in my constituency. And these town councils for all that time, especially Busunju Town Council, has been run by an interim system, an interim administration. This interim expired now 6 months. There is no election that has taken place in that town council, now 6 months. And there is now a leadership problem, a leadership crisis. Some people are threatening to sue the interim local government because it is there illegally. So we don't know when these elections will take place, especially the residual. They are referred to as residual elections by the Electoral Commission. When you go there, the Electoral Commission, we have written to the Electoral Commission, they claim that they don't have the money at the moment. So Mr. Speaker, and the Honorable House, could you please, I wish the minister responsible, if he's around, would explain this matter, because what has been done now by the Chief Administrative Officer is to call back the interim to the mother sub-county. And this one has created a problem. People are threatening to strike. They are coming to us as members of parliament, and we don't know what we can do at the moment, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Local government, Minister?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank my colleague for raising the issue. Right Honorable, it is not Honorable Busonju. The issue of local governments not having been given substantive leaders, municipalities, town councils, even councillors in some of the new local governments is still critical. But as government, we shall work together, as Minister of Local Government, we shall work together with the Minister of Justice that is concerned with election of leaders in this country.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and the Minister. Right Honorable Speaker, this issue is very serious. First of all, we went through an election, and the LC3 chairman was taking the whole sub-county where they carved out the town council. Now, Right Honorable Speaker, in that area you have to create a chief or an accounting officer for that particular area. One time, Honorable Mutoni, it's unfortunate he's not around, was trying to bring an amendment here, where we could see whether the chairman LC3 who won can decide where to stay. And then we get election for another area. But now the issue of councillors still remains a problem. And the chairman. And I think the best way, Honorable Minister, is you writing to the Electoral Commission. But it's also worrying, because remember, we failed to carry out LC1 elections because the money was given to feed the people, which we are not sure of. You remember the 16 billion? And the Right Honorable Speaker, I think this matter should be handled expeditiously, because now it is almost, we are coming 2 years. And the worst thing in this system, LC3 chairman, even if they die, and councillors, there are no by-elections. Unless an MP has died in that particular constituency, then they conduct them. That's what has been happening. In Kalungu, we spent 5 years without an LC3 chairman for Wabenge, because he died after elections. And why do you create these municipalities, these town councils, when you cannot deal with them? Yet you know you give them more funds than LC3s. I can take it.
You are reasoned on
but
what
I was
point
seeking clarification. I was seeking, and I don't want to fall to rules of procedure. So, Honourable Minister, kindly, my clarification, couldn't you write the Electoral Commission showing you are discontent about the same? So
thank you, Honourable.
Right Honorable Speaker, we normally write, as Minister of Local Government, we normally write to the Electoral Commission on all the created local governments where there is a vacuum in leadership. Like last week I was in Chiboga Town Council has no mayor, and it's the chairman of the rural sub-county who is handling both. So like I said, it's an issue which is countrywide, and it is this parliament that appropriates money. So the best way forward is for us to find the money, give it to Electoral Commission, and elections can be conducted.
Clarification.
Procedure.
Honorable Speaker.
Procedure.
Please.
Clarification.
Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker, I need a clarification from the Honorable Minister. How do we operate as government? Because how do we put an interim government in place, operates for a certain period of time, then withdraw power from the people who have already started functioning under their leadership institutions? Me, I see this is bringing a loophole into government, and it affects on the image of the ruling government. Why we always talk on this matter? because people have confidence in the ruling government in the way it operates. So I need a clarification from the Honourable Minister whether your ministry operates in a fire brigade system or a testing system that let's try to put there a municipality, or let's put there a council. When things fail, we shall again write. Because the way you are explaining is as if you experiment, write to electoral commission, then you put things in place. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I'm seeking a further clarification from the Minister of Local Government. I have listened for her explaining that the problem of having administrative vacuum is countrywide. I do appreciate Sembabule district, which had 8 sub-counties and 2 town councils, now has got 16 sub-counties and 3 town councils. And we are moving towards having a district of Remiaga district. So how are we moving when the sub-counties have been accepted, authorized, and are supposed to start effective from 1st July? And the minister is saying the issue is countrywide. Are these created sub-counties going to remain with this vacuum? As of now, the one sub-county which has been divided into 3 sub-counties means it has 1 chairperson. Now the chairperson is assumed to select whichever area he wants to remain. Just assumption. There is nothing that the government from the local ministry has given out how these people can move from one place to another. And 2, 1 minute. And 2, the parishes which were also subdivided, they need to have administrative. Now, how are we going? I'm finding a problem the whole week. I was there trying to settle these disputes. So my clarification is it that the Ministry of Local Government just gives out administrative units without giving out the guidelines? How are those people supposed to operationalize their administrative units? I thank you.
No.
Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, starting from the question raised by Honourable Macho, that we are just experimenting. It's not true that we are experimenting. As a Ministry of Local Government, under the Local Government Act, we are mandated to create new local governments, depending on the demands, but also the requirements that are normally provided in that local government law, like the demand from the people, but also service delivery to the people, accessibility, the population. So when we create these local governments, we normally write to the Electoral Commission to indicate that we have created a local government and we advise them to go ahead and conduct elections. But at times, due to limitations of our resource envelope, they are not able to do that. But I imagine that every ministry has its mandate. So by my colleague asking...
Order, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have been listening to the minister, and out of her submission, she's saying they have normally written the Electoral Commission. And as a Minister of Local Government, her concern is seeing that these local governments are created and are functional. Is she in order to insinuate in front of us that they are limited resources when she's not in the Electoral Commission and she has not tabled any evidence to effect showing that the Electoral Commission has answered them saying that they have no money? So is she in order, Right Honourable Speaker, to insinuate that really there is no money, the resource envelope is low and poor? Is she in order? Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
The only prohibition that I see in the rules, when you make statements that impute improper motive on another member. I have not yet come across the one on insinuation, so I don't think I can rule on that very well.
Thank you, Right Honorable, for your wise ruling. And I just want to inform my honorable colleagues that in all these local governments, they are not non-functional. They are functioning. Yes, they are functioning. And also, Honorable Hanifa, the 8 local governments that you've got in terms of sub-counties, they are not going to be under one chairperson. Definitely we shall have elections done. Because as to when elections can be done is not my mandate. That's why I told you that the Ministry of Justice, that is in charge of the Electoral Commission, is better placed to tell us the when.
Can we close this matter, Honorable Minister? Please, let's close this matter.
She has given the clarification.
No. I'm in charge of this house. Can we close this matter?
Right Honorable, I've closed my case.
Next item.
Item number 3, laying of papers. Report of the delegation of the Parliament of Uganda.
Procedure.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, yesterday I raised a matter of great national importance, and you guided that this morning the minister comes with a statement. Are we proceeding well?
Which minister?
The Minister of Defense.
Wasn't it Internal Affairs?
You guided, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, I said Minister of Internal Affairs, and he's here. I'm saying we're going to make a statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So we are proceeding properly. You are the one who is not proceeding properly. Please sit. Honorable, please.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I beg to lay a report of the delegation of Parliament of Uganda at the 45th session of the SCP Parliamentary Assembly and intersessional meetings of the SCP EU Joint Parliamentary Assembly in Brussels, Belgium, from the 21st to the 24th March 2017. I beg to lay.
Let the records capture that. Honorable members, we will find time to have this kind of reports of delegations discussed by the House. Next item.
Item number 4, presentation of a petition by the Uganda Private Health Training Institutions Association.
Honorable Member for Nwoya District.
Right Honorable Speaker, I rise under Rule 29 of the Rules of Procedure of the Parliament of Uganda to present petition by the Uganda Private Health Training Institutions Association, the humble petitioners of the Uganda Private Health Training Institutions Association, over a circular issued by the Ministry of Education and Sports regarding admissions of students in the health training institutions. Whereas the Education Act 2008 made legal provisions for guiding and implementing the general education, including the BITVET subsector and the BITVET Act 2008 guidelines, the policy formulation and the reforms in the BITVET sector. The BITVET Act 2008 provides that objectives of BITVET is to provide relevant and quality knowledge, values, and skills for purposes of academic progression and employment in the labor market to a larger number of persons in an affordable way, and to enhance the productivity capabilities of the individuals for employment and self-employment. On the 12th of February 2016, the Ministry of Education issued a circular to all principals of private and government health training institutions, directing that the admissions of students in health training institutions should be done in accordance with the directives in the circular. The directives were to the effect
Right Honorable Speaker, I've checked my iPad and the statement being read out is not there. Are we proceeding well, Right Honorable Speaker?
Yes, well, it's a petition. Proceed.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The associations are saying on the 12th of February 2016, the Ministry of Education issued a circular to all principals of private and government health training institutions, directing that the admissions of students in health training institutions should be done in accordance with the circular. And the directives were to the effect that all certificate courses should be admitted once a year in November, and that all diploma programs for extension should be admitted once a year in May and should only consider students who have worked for 2 years and have registered with the Nurses Council, and the application should be done through their employers. The circular also directed that the direct students, that is from Senior 6 for diploma programs, are admitted by the JAB committee and are sent to government through government schools, and the training commences in November. The petitioners allege that they were not given sufficient notice and that the notice was given in the middle of the academic year. The directives was issued when the health training schools had made preparations for admissions, including acquiring loans from the banks to enable them carry out infrastructural development. And wherefore, your humble petitioners pray that Parliament urges the Ministry of Education to halt the implementation of the circular issued regarding admissions of students into the health training institutions until further notice. Because as of now, over 3,000 students have already been admitted to start their studies in May, but now the circular is stopping these students from starting to study. Parliament also urges the Ministry of Education to give sufficient notice at least 2 to 3 years to especially the private institutions and faith-based health training institutions to adjust their programs and plans. Prayers are also that Ministry of Education at least reviews the decision of admitting students in November only, as it encourages high dropout rates among students waiting the whole year to join nursing education, especially girl child. If the decision is to be maintained, then some grace period, at least 3 to 5 years, should be given to private and faith-based health training institutions to adjust programs and strategic plan. The government should bail out the institutions that shall collapse, as they had already acquired loans to implement and expand the schools for the 2 admissions. The request for fair hearing. Attached is a list of petitioners and members' institutions, among others. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Member for Noya. Would you like to proceed and lay the...
I beg to lay the petition on table.
Let the records capture that. Honorable members, I've looked at this petition. I have actually also met the petitioners. And in the circumstances of the business of the House at the moment, it would not solve the urgent matters raised by the petitioners if this matter is referred to a committee to report within a certain time frame. I'm using my authority under Rule 29(6) to specifically refer this matter to the minister responsible for the sector to handle it within the time frame and come back to the House and advise the House on whatever these petitioners have raised. An interim period, take administrative measures to preserve the interests of the petitioners so that they are also accommodated within the time frame while you are considering how you respond to this petition, handle the issues they have brought to you, Honorable Minister, and then come back to the House and advise us on the issues raised by them so that we can also notify them that the following has been brought back by the minister and the steps taken as 1, 2, 3 and things like that. So please, clerk, extract this petition and forward to the minister responsible for education for expeditious handling. Thank you. Next item.
Item number 5. Motion for a
No, we are
resolution.
proceeding with this. We amended to accommodate the minister to make the preliminary statement, the Minister of Internal Affairs, in respect of 2 issues that were raised yesterday. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, yesterday, in the course of the proceedings of this House, an issue was raised in relation to an individual by the names of Imam Suleiman Mudenya. It was stated that Mudenya was arrested, his whereabouts are unknown, and that this is a matter of concern. I would like to clearly state that, yes, Imam Suleiman Mudenya, ordinarily a resident of Bunya, was arrested in Busia in relation to the general investigations concerning the death of late Kawesi. He was brought and detained in Alfenya. He is still detained in Alfenya. Investigations have been carried out, and his file has been forwarded to the DPP for advice on prosecution. The point, therefore, is that Mudenya has not disappeared. He is available. He is in Alfenya police station. He is available, and the family can visit him.
Education. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and the Honorable Minister. The facts from the family, Mudenya was not arrested from Busia. Mudenya was arrested from his village, home at Mwezi.
No, the issue is, where is he? I think not where he was arrested. That doesn't matter. The issue is,
yes,
where is he?
And he was
is he accessible? That is the issue.
Yes, he's not accessible because the family was there on 20th Monday. The other Monday, last Monday but one, the family was there at Nalufenya, and they advised them to go to Chireka. But initially, Mudenya was taken to Iganga in Buligo, Wembley.
Honorable member, please. Honorable member. They have told you where the person is. Go and confirm. If he's not there, come back. They have told you where he is.
Okay.
That's the information we wanted. The House wanted to know if this person has actually disappeared in the hands of government. And now they're telling you that the person is in Alufenya. You can go and see. Go and see. If he's not there, come back and tell us.
Yeah, right, okay. Speaker, before I sit down, I wanted to make it clear to the minister that the family went to Alufenya, and they told him Mudenya was not there. They advised the family to go to Chireka. Now, my concern, if Mudenya was at Nalufenya, I'm going to give you just 1 minute. If Mudenya was at Nalufenya, why did Nalufenya refer the family to Chireka, and then Chireka refer the family to Ruzira? That's my concern.
No, but that was on the 20th. Today is the 31st.
But it's now 2 months, Right Honorable Speaker. Information.
Clarification, Right Honorable Speaker.
Information, then clarification.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you, my colleague, for giving me way. Right Honorable Speaker and members, I want to give this information to my colleague and members that sometimes our people even do fear police. Sometimes they don't go to the right office and get information. And in most cases, No, I'm still giving him information.
It's not
And
friendly
in most
information.
cases,
It's not friendly information.
Honorable members,
Clarification.
honorable members, please, please, please. Honorable members, the issue that was raised yesterday was that an individual by the names that have been stated was arrested by government agents and has disappeared. They have tried to trace where he is. They cannot find him. And I ordered from the chair that the minister responsible for the sector should come and tell us the whereabouts of this individual. He has come and he has done exactly that. Now, there is no way for us to verify at this moment whether it is Nalufenya or not. Now, somebody has got to go there and find out if the minister has told us something that is not true.
Clarification.
And the matter ends there. Please, let's leave this matter there. We're not extending this. We have received the information, so let's stop it there. Please, 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 please. If the matter that the minister has said is not correct, somebody needs to come back to us and advise us. Nobody has information in this house to give us. Please, 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 honorable members, I am not going to extend this. There's still another member, another issue from Noya, which the minister has to report on.
Right Honourable Speaker, thank you very much. Again, in the course of the proceedings of the House, yesterday, Honourable Oyet Simon raised the matter of an individual in Woya who was killed. I would like to state that Mr. Ochama Alex is now pronounced dead. What are the circumstances? On the 22nd of this month, Mr. Ochama Alex and his family went to clear a bush to prepare a garden. In the course of that activity, an individual by the names of Juma, who was eventually determined to be a soldier, and an escort of Major General Otema, came to this group of Ochama and his family and said, "You are the people who are interfering in the land of General Otema." The wife and the daughter ran away. Mr. Chama stayed. The wife and daughter, at a distance, heard the sound of a gun. That evening, Mr. Chama did not return home. The next day, the mother and daughter went to inquire on the whereabouts of Mr. Chama. They went to Juma, who feigned ignorance. So they went to the police. The police mounted a search. A body was found. They were not at that particular point able to determine the cause of death. So this body was delivered to Gulu Hospital for a post-mortem. The post-mortem was carried out by Dr. Oneno Luedo, who determined that Mr. Ochama Alex died of shock caused by a bullet wound. As I speak, we are looking for Juma to assist in investigations and further management of this matter. This is the situation as it is.
Thank you. Honorable Yet.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank so much the Minister for Internal Affairs, General J.J. Odong, for being very honest and sincere. The information he gave to this house is actually exactly what happened to the family of the late Samuel Alex. The additional information that I want to give to him to enrich the investigations and finally arrest the culprit is that yesterday at around 10 p.m., Juma and one called Arop, who is the head of security of General Tema in that farm, were in Latoro Trading Center in a saloon car, warning and terrorizing the community that whoever dare to report their whereabouts will be the next victim. And I want to inform further that the police should not only stop at investigating the death of Alex. Several people have disappeared from that village, and up to now they have not been accounted for. On the same day, when they confirmed that Alex was dead, actually they came, they wanted to steal the body. And thank God that the police responded timely. And if the police did not pick the body, we don't know what could have happened. It could have been the same thing that has been happening time and again. And I want to say that thank you so much. And we are available to provide all the necessary information that you need to help you.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to thank Honorable Yet Simon for bringing this very important matter. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to seek clarification from Honorable Minister. In most areas...
Honorable, if you are seeking clarification, why didn't you allow him to finish? Let him finish. You are seeking clarification, not from him, but from the minister.
Okay.
Let him finish.
Okay. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. As I conclude, I want to appeal to the Minister of Internal Affairs to work together with the Minister of Defense in ensuring that justice prevails to the people of Noya County, Noya District. Because as I speak right now, I take it.
Thank you, colleague, for providing a way. The information I want to give is on the 22nd of May, as I was trying to gain access to the Gardens of Youth in one village in Longolo Sub-County called Lebnet Upper, there were 3 people who had earlier on been chased from their land by another section of soldiers deployed by the same general, harassed people who had even letters for the titles for their land, and they hurt about 4 people using the gun bayonet.
Yeah. Thank you. I was saying that you need to work together with your colleagues of defense, because the information we have is that there's a lot of intimidations coming from General Otema and his clique against any further investigation or any possible arrest of the perpetrator of this crime. And then 2, as I speak right now, there's still deployment of soldiers to guard private farms of relatives and friends of General Otema. And now, it is not only General Otema. Actually, there are 2 people who are competing over power and how mighty they are. That is General Otema and then Mrs. General Salim Saleh Abe Arid, who are deploying soldiers to burn people's hearts, to chase people from their gardens, to beat people. Actually, personally, I did not mean because of the intervention of the police, I was supposed to be beaten and left disabled. But thank God, I'm still alive and kicking. I will continue to pursue justice for my people. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable. Honorable Minister. Yes, you are seeking clarification.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to appreciate Honorable Oyet for this very important matter. The clarification I want to seek from the Honorable Minister is that what are the roles of our UPDF and police officers? What is happening right now in our area, the UPDF and the police officers are the ones taking care of land of people who are in government. I do not know if that is one of the roles of the UPDF. And why are you still allowing the UPDF and the police officers to continue helping the land grabbers, burning people's houses, destroying people's crops? You need to be very clear and tell us if from the Ministry of Internal Affairs you are putting as a policy that the UPDF should keep guarding people's land. And the case in point, Right Honorable Speaker, we have in Amoro the place called Lepngech and Pagak Paris. Currently, we have UPDF who are based in the farm. Wherever that Indian is digging, is opening his garden, you find UPDF in charge. So this is reducing the integrity of our UPDF. Our soldiers are so professional. They are being respected in the whole continent. But now you are reducing them to mere helping land grabbers. So, Honorable Minister, you really need to be very clear. I would like to seek that clarification from you.
Honorable Minister.
Clarification. Clarification. Yes.
You seek clarification from the member holding the floor, not from the speaker.
Honorable Minister, clarification.
Can I first respond and then you can inquire?
Much obliged.
Right Honorable Speaker, thank you very much indeed for this opportunity. And again, I thank my colleagues, Honorable Oyet and Honorable Olanya, for raising these points of inquiry. I think the roles of UPDF are very clear because their mandate is spelled out in our Constitution, and we do know that very clearly. Indeed, sometimes errors are made, and it is our duty to ensure that we correct those errors. I would like also to take this opportunity to point out that the situation in Nwoya in particular, which has occasioned this very sad incident, and indeed the situation you are describing is a situation of struggle over land. And I think we need to pay a lot more attention and come and resolve that matter once and for all. As long as it continues, we may continue to have incidents of this nature, and that will be very, very unfortunate. I would like us to come together, join hands, and resolve this matter of ownership of pieces of land in Nwoya and in that area generally. I will appreciate your contribution, your support in this endeavor.
Thank you. There was another issue that was raised. I think this is for the Minister of Defense. Or no, there was a matter about from Bukoto. Please. There was a matter from Bukoto about a notice of eviction issued by the UPDF. They've given 5 days around the lake shores. Yes, that people should remove procedure.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm raising on the point of procedure. Mr. Speaker, as we're giving information and seeking clarifications, there were issues that were raised regarding the ongoing deployment of the UPDF to guard private farms. And now that the Minister of Defense is here, is there no procedural right to hear from him the position of the Minister of Defense, if it's a policy matter or if something which is going to be taken for granted. Is there not procedure right to hear from him on the position of the Minister of Defense in regard to that?
But I thought that is what he was going to do. I was giving him the additional matter from the eviction around the lake shores of Nabugabo raised by member for Bokoto. That is the first one that you have raised in his presence, and then the other one from Bokoto. I was just drawing it to their attention that he can speak to. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'd like to thank the honorable members for raising these issues as people's representatives. I had occasion to have a meeting with my sister, Honorable Lile Adong, yesterday. She had the courtesy to come to my office and raise the issues at least pertaining to Nwoya. And immediately she left my office, I commissioned a team of officers to investigate the issues she has raised. I'm yet to get a report. I had thought I would interact with her bilaterally, but now that it's a House issue, I will definitely bring my report to the House. The deployment of UPDF on private farms, I have just got this complaint now, Mr. Speaker. I will quickly carry out an investigation this afternoon and report back at the earliest opportunity which you give me, Right Honorable Speaker.
You could also take appropriate action in the meantime.
Yes.
Whatever your investigations will reveal.
Absolutely.
The reporting then could be on both the situation and
the action taken.
Yes. The one of Nabugabo?
Nabugabo, again, I have just got the complaint. It definitely requires some investigation.
No, the issue is that the eviction has been given 5 days. I think now there are 3 left. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I want to give further information to the minister because 5 days were given to the people living in the villages of Mumpu and Mutemante, which is in Buunga sub-county along the lake shores. And they were given 5 days, elapsing, I think, tomorrow. Some of the people have been seen moving their property from the villages. Each house they live is destroyed. And this is being done by UPDF.
Information.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the matter of the UPDF in the waters is a serious issue. And I appeal to the minister and even to this house that one time I was talking here and I said that it was very good that the president said that UPDF should go and control the bad fishing methods in the waters. But I'm reporting with dismay that the deployment of UPDF in the waters has come to destroy this country and even the people whom we represent. As I talk now, over 238 boats have been destroyed in my area where there is no ferry. I have 11 islands where people use these boats to take their children to various schools. Now, as I talk now, children cannot move to the schools because the boats have been destroyed. The fish that they say that they are going to control, the illegal fishing, the 20 kilograms, when they get you with 20 kilograms, 30 kilograms, they ask you, you have killed the mother of fish. Which fish is now going to produce the rest? And you are beaten. So I just want my sister, the issue
Thank
is
you
raised.
for the information,
Yes.
because it's a bit related, but mine is about eviction that is going on. These are established villages with polling stations. I would like to know from the minister the fate of these people because they were given 5 days, elapsing tomorrow. And you know the power of the gun. We don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. So this matter is very urgent and it needs immediate intervention. I want to report back to my constituents.
Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, if the notice of eviction expires tomorrow, I will quickly suspend the eviction. And because if the threat is imminent, then it's in order that we intervene now and then investigate. So I can assure the Honorable Member that the eviction will not proceed until the circumstances under which the notice, if at all it's there, were given are investigated.
Clarification, Honorable, Right Honorable Speaker.
Clarification, Right Honorable Speaker.
Procedure.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And I want to thank you very much for this approach that is giving us very good results from the ministers. And my procedure matter is, I raised that one time on this floor of Parliament, still about deployment of UPDF to pastors. And let me put it on the record, pastors. When you go to this church at Rubaga, Kayanja, it is having UPDF and military police. Pastor Kakande, the issues of Hona Mayanja also have soldiers. Right Honorable Speaker, military police is supposed to discipline UPDF, infantry, but is also deployed. So the procedure matter I'm raising is, it wouldn't be procedure okay, Honorable Minister, that when you are reporting back, you also sort out the issue of pastors. Take an example. Pastor Iga, one time he came to Bari in my constituency. He had the 2 escorts, soldiers with radio calls, and his wife also had 2 soldiers in uniform. And I have never seen Right Honorable Speaker with the soldiers. Even when you follow him, you don't see his policemen, though they are there. But the pastors, and not even the cardinal, by the way. So the procedure matter I'm raising is about the same, so that you can help us. Otherwise,
no, honorable members, we get things lost in translation if you widen them too much. This is a very specific thing, and the minister has undertaken. Now you want to delay by going to pastors and all over the country before he comes back? Really, please, let us deal with the specific issues that have been raised on the record. There are specific issues that have been raised. The one of pastors, the minister can look at, but the specific issues are the ones in the evictions, which is taken action, and the one in Nuaya. Please, let us limit these things.
Right Honorable Speaker, I'm raising on a procedure which is really a simple one. I appreciate the Minister of Defense, his commitment and explanation, especially on the issue of Noya. This issue of Noya, this is not the first time. The Member of Parliament came on this floor and brought the same issues, and they are persisting, continuing on. I witnessed what took place when this Member of Parliament was being confronted by the soldier. Now, the procedure I'm raising on is it not procedural right, the minister to give us a time frame of bringing this comprehensive answer or statement on the issue of NOAA? Because at the African parliamentary debates, we debated this largely, and we want to contribute because it is not an issue. Uganda is a signatory to the African Charter on policing and use of the gun. So I am raising it to find out if procedure is right to have a time frame as a matter of urgency, and we solve this matter for once and for all. I thank you.
Honorable members, let's have one thing clear. Some of these matters are not raised for Parliament to solve. Sometimes Parliament does not have the capacity to solve them. Like this one. How will Parliament solve the issues in Nuaya? How will it solve it? By a motion, by declaration? How will it solve the issue of soldiers standing on pieces of land? The minister has said he's coming back after looking at what is going on. He will have given instruction. That's what I'm saying. Whatever you find, or take administrative measures, and then report to us on both aspects, what is going on and what you have done. Because as Parliament, are we going to say don't deploy, and who is going to ensure it at night that they're not deploying? It's the minister, that is his sector, he's the executive head of that particular institution. Let him deal with it and report to us that we have taken the following steps, and we also confirm from the members that now everything is okay. That would be a better way to proceed. Otherwise, we'll bog down Parliament doing things they should not be doing. Procedure?
Right Honourable Speaker, the Minister of Internal Affairs had allowed me to raise 2 simple issues.
Procedure?
And, yeah, and it's like we are
the Minister of Internal Affairs is no longer holding the floor.
No, but he had already allowed me.
Procedure?
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I have had the issues raised, and I think if our intelligence system was strong enough, government should have learnt about this, probably before they could even come to the floor of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, this leads me to relations of our security intelligence system in the country. And I get to wonder what government is doing to organize our security intelligence system in Uganda.
Honourable Member.
Now, the procedural matter I'm raising, Right Honourable Speaker, is that wouldn't it be procedurally right that probably government comes here and gives us a comprehensive and well-coordinated security information? That is the procedural matter I'm raising on.
For what purpose? To achieve what?
But Right Honourable Speaker,
really, to achieve what, honourable members? Please, let us do things we are supposed to do. Let security be manned by people. If there are lapses, then we deal with it.
Procedure.
Please. Yes, procedure.
Yes, procedure. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank you for this opportunity. Right Honourable Speaker, for some time now I have been watching a little bit with lots of concern. My heart is beginning to bleed. The only institution...
On what matter do you raise, Honourable?
It was clarification. Right,
Clarification from who? Please. There was a procedural point.
And Right Honourable
Procedure.
Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I rise on the point of procedure. Honourable Abbott gave information that I think is really very, very relevant. Much as our sister said, it wasn't related. But Right Honourable Speaker, we have a lot of noise, especially on Lake Victoria. We have the UPDF that is deployed to ensure good fishing. But the UPDF officers who are on the lake are turning up to be actually grabbers. I'll give you an example. My counterpart from Samiabugwe South.
Honourable Member, you rose on procedure.
Yes. Ordered for the arrest of some of the boats, which boats were actually being used by the UPDF officers who are supposed to ensure safety on the lake. Wouldn't it be procedurally right for the minister to give us a report on this matter?
Honourable Minister, the operations of the people who have been deployed to manage the lakes and fishing in the lakes is becoming an issue. Would you like to look at that and see how best you can rectify and make it really something that is comfortable with the people whose livelihood is derived from that source? That is what the members are raising.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. We'll look into the complaint and investigate the complaints that have been raised by members and get back to the House on that issue.
Casilo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a matter of public importance, which I want to bring to Honorable Minister for Internal Affairs for his understanding. Of course, there's a matter I raised last time. I think that one I'll share out where I wanted the report on some people who were beaten back home. But last week, the people who live around Soroti University in Teso were woken up by people who had been organized and brought from Bali to beat them, to evict them at night. You saw the papers, you saw in the top, the blood-stained people who were arrested. Good enough, your brothers from there, formerly Arab boys, they were able to arrest them. But to date, there is a lot of counter-accusations and accusations. It has even costed the RDC of Soroti to be fired. But also the accusations that the police is not taking the rightful role, because the people who allegedly hired these people from Bali to come and beat them are at large. Some of them have run to Kampala. They have given the names of the university secretary. They have given the names of Professor Ikoja. But the concerned people who are lived, who were evicted, who were beaten, no one is responding to them. Please, could you interest yourself on this matter and report to this house such that we're able to know. But also I think, Right Honorable Speaker, the Committee of Education should also interest itself on this matter. Because Soroti University is not just a university for Teso, it's a university for the country. They should pick interest in this matter. We have had situations where people even undressed in that area. I think there is something going on which is being hidden by some people. Please.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank my senior Honorable Okupa for giving way. In regards to Soroti University, actually as we speak right now, some of those people who were beaten terribly by the people who were not actually from Teso, who had been carried to that area, are admitted in the various health centers, and no action has been taken in regards to those who were tortured. And this happened some time back. And obviously we have a government in place, and we have the respective offices right from the village, represented by the GISOs, up to the national. So it would be important that government has a statement in regards to the issue that took place in Soroti. Thank you.
It's our inaction is making the people feel jittery, that us, to start with us, the leaders from Teso, that we were silent about it, but two, also nationally, as government, I think action should be taken, and this should be brought to book. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, I'd like to thank Honorable Okupa for raising this matter. It is true, a very ugly situation has developed around Soroti University. It is also true that as Minister of Internal Affairs and indeed police, we are investigating the circumstances and all the events that have taken place. It is sad that at this particular point, I cannot make a report because I'm still continuing to investigate. But the truth of the matter is, yes, something happened. We are not happy with what happened, but we would like to know the facts before we can speak.
Thank you, honorable members. As I said earlier, the main business, the budget and the loan on item 5. But the circumstances coming from our colleagues processing these matters, they say they still need some time. So I am suspending the House, and we resume at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
Suspending till 2 o'clock.
He's suspending until 12.